Okay, so today let's talk about why decisions feel like they happen late. Most people are certain they decide what they do. It feels obvious. Something happens, you think about it, and then you choose. The sense of being the author of your actions feels immediate and unquestionable. So it rarely occurs to anyone to question the order of events. But if you look closely, not philosophically, just honestly, you may notice something slightly uncomfortable. By the time you feel like you're deciding, the movement often appears to already be underway. The decision doesn't feel like the beginning. It feels more like the moment you notice what's already happening. You can see this most clearly when you look at decisions after they've settled. Think about a time you bought something that immediately appealed to you. Later, you probably describe the purchase as practical or justified, even though the reasoning formed after the attraction. The explanation feels convincing because it creates coherence, but the pull came first. Or maybe think about the way people describe their career paths. Looking back, the story often sounds intentional and linear, as though each step was chosen deliberately. But lived experience just isn't like that, and rarely feels like that. It usually feels like gradual shifts, opportunities, pressures, and inclinations that only later become organised into the narrative of choice. The story makes the movement feel deliberate, even when it unfolds gradually. What's interesting is that psychology has repeatedly shown how strong this tendency to explain after the fact really is. In one set of experiments, people were asked to choose between two options, and then the researchers secretly swapped their choices with the option they didn't pick. When asked to explain their decision about the option they didn't want, many participants confidently described detailed reasons for choosing something they hadn't actually chosen. They weren't guessing, they genuinely believed their explanations. The mind simply produced a coherent story because coherence is what it does. Research looking at the timing of decisions shows something similar. Brain activity associated with preparing to act can be detected before people report the conscious intention to move. That doesn't mean decisions aren't real, but it does suggest that what feels like the beginning of deciding may actually be the moment that awareness joins the process already in motion. If you want to go further into this, into how conditioning, prediction and emotional regulation actually shape what you experience as self, the full article on Patreon goes much deeper into the mechanics and what becomes possible once the illusion of authorship starts to fall away. And that's where we continue. Thank you.